Hmm. That is the question. It's the question I ask myself at this particular hour. An hour of reflection. It is presently December 21st, 2023, which means we only have 10 days left. 10 days left. A week and 3 days until the year turns. I think most of us will make it the next 10 days, but you can't be too careful. You really can't be too careful because, well, the universe has this way of throwing curveballs at you. The universe has this way of knocking you on your ass, of testing you. If you are in a city like mine, New York, Brooklyn borough, then you are probably aware of this Faustian bargain, of this way of living. The universe throws you a curve, and in some particular locales of the United States of America, well, you get more curveballs than other places. And let's talk about the curveballs. The curveballs could be something that completely knocks you off the career trajectory that you're meant to have. The curveball could be some wrong woman you met one day, and then you married her, and you knew you should not have married her, but you did, and you paid the price, sometimes for 5, 10, or 15 years. Not that I discount the woman's story, but that's a curveball. That is a curveball. That is something that disrupts your routine. And you know, sometimes you need to have curveballs in life. Sometimes you need to have someone test you. Test you. Prove your strengths, your passions, what it is that you hold dear, your priorities in life. The universe tests you with that curveball. And it's a beautiful thing, really, because everybody should be tested. Anybody who has had any kind of success knows that they have had 25 failures before that overnight success. But failure, the real successes remember their failure. And it's not that they necessarily want to learn from their mistakes, although they do. It's this, to recall your failure, but to keep it out of the public eye. Well, that is a form of secretive self-examination. Secretive, furtive, clandestine self-examination that gives one pause. But that's what people do. In the 20th and 21st century, those are the two centuries I have lived in. In the 20th and 21st century, what happens is this. You live long enough to remember a long shadow of history and to see what younger people don't see, to see the patterns, to see the cadences. But the older you get, the less likely someone is going to listen to you. And so what ends up happening is the people you need to listen to when you're young aren't going to listen to you. And the game is rigged. The media game, whether it be algorithm or print or media ecosystem or whatever, the media system is rigged to ensure that those who have lived long enough to know, and those who have lived long enough to care, to see the beauty of life, they're the ones who want to impart the message, you see. They're the ones who want to do what is impossible, increasingly impossible, as growing older becomes younger, as the demands of high school today are not the demands of high school that perhaps someone of my age would say would be the standards of 20 years ago. It's a different game. It's a different game. Curveballs. Curveballs also tied into human progress. Curveballs. Curveballs. Providing for that development of the cell phone and the internet and everything that I did not have when I was in high school, which was the internet. The internet has told me over the years, curveballs, the internet has given me places where I am so close to massive success, but I don't quite make it because there's some motherfucker somewhere who says, no, not that guy. And the powers that be, I am not within their capacity to demand fealty from me. I am not in that bailiwick, let's be clear. But I am a deferential person if you get to know me, and I try to be polite in all of my dealings in life. And sometimes that's suspicious. Providing honor for someone is now the curveball. The curveball is the old. The old transforms into the new becomes cliche, and the curveball comes along and takes that new turned into cliche and says that's the curveball. Because we know you don't want to hear that opinion, that aperçu. This is why it is important in life to consider everything. If you read about a debacle as involuted and convoluted as head exploding as Israel and Palestine, not too far out of the gate that you've got to read. You've got to read a lot of fucking books. Whereas other conflicts of the world provide you perhaps one or two books to get multiple sides. In Israel and Palestine's case, you have to read 3 or 4 books about the same fucking conflict. It's fucking exhausting. And yet, there's a part of you that wants to know. Because the curveballs the universe throws at us are not limited to coincidence. The curveballs are us. We're curveballs when we go mad, when we go insane. When you're in that long line and you say, fuck it, I've had enough, and you berate some very kind-looking person who has 3 children, 1 in a stroller. You berate her, you scream at her, and you say to yourself, fuck you, I'm a curveball. I am sick of it. I am tired of it. I am a curveball. Let us set up the Curveball Appreciation Society. Or maybe, given the problem, the Curveball Honorific Society.